The Marvels. Forewarning, spoiler alert, I will be going into what I liked and what I didn't like about this movie with full spoilers, so here's your warning. Rotten Tomatoes score for The Marvels is currently a 62% critic score and an 84% audience score. This movie is considered fresh according to Rotten Tomatoes standards since it's above 60%. It's the third to lowest ranked Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, with Eternals and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania below it. I have only seen this movie once. I know that can affect an individual's thoughts, but I wanted to break down some of the reasons I enjoyed this movie and some of the things that I wish were done differently. Number 1. I thought the three main characters' abilities to switch powers was one of the coolest parts of the movie. There's a scene at the beginning when we're cutting between different locations, everyone's changing powers, people are coming in and out. At that point, the movie was absolutely thriving. It was a great introduction for what was on the way with the powers and the switching and all of that. Number 2. The Flurkins. I thought that was totally random and just wild. It's on brand for a comic book movie. Love all the kittens, and of course seeing Goose again is always great. Number 3. Kamala Khan. I have not watched the entire Miss Marvel series on Disney+. I know, come at me. Her character in this film though was the most fun. I loved her excitement. It felt like we kind of broke the fourth wall with how she met Captain Marvel, because of course any of us who could actually meet Captain Marvel would probably have the same reaction. I thought her parents were so fun. It helped make the movie feel more grounded in reality, which is always helpful when there are things throughout the film that are not based in reality. Number 4. When they were on the water planet and there was a whole thing with Carol having married this dude and they had to sing and everything, it was definitely funny, but I'm not sure if it really fit in with the movie at that point. Also, I felt like the movie kind of glazed over the fact that all of them, I think, died because the Marvels couldn't stop the villain. The whole thing felt like a weird inclusion, but I thought it was funny and worth mentioning. Number 5. Carol Danvers. She definitely is dealing with the traumatic events that is her life and all of the above. Not enough time was given to that plot point to the extent that I could truly care about it. I think we were just dealing with so many characters in this movie, we really didn't have time to unpack everything Carol was feeling. I fully believe that Brie Larson could have really gone in deep on that aspect of Carol's being, but again, just not enough time, and there were just too many characters. Number 6. The runtime. The runtime was an hour and 45 minutes. This is the shortest MCU movie at this point. I look at all of the MCU movies that I love, just to name a few: Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, dare I say Endgame. All of these movies were at least 2 hours, if not more. The Marvels is dealing with two characters that have not been seen in Marvel films at all. I know Miss Marvel has her own TV show, and I know Monica Rambeau showed up in WandaVision, but for the casual MCU movie viewer, or just the casual movie viewer, this is the first time we're meeting them. I wanted to learn a little bit more about them and who they were in this movie. What are they doing in their lives? How do they live their lives? Establish past things in their lives without flashbacks of things that we've already seen in the previous movie. That probably refers more to Monica, because we do get more establishing things with Kamala, with her family, and all of that, but it just did not feel like enough time. Number 7, the villain. Have to be honest, I had to Google what her name was. Dar-Benn could have been such a cool character. I thought it was great. She had a very clear mission to go from planet to planet, taking various resources, all those things. The Kree were not established enough in a way that I cared about them. The last time we saw the Kree, they were depicted only as the bad guys. I think a really cool piece of conflict between the Kree and the Marvels is if we really felt for the Kree people. If we actually got to see actual Kree, not just a giant group, and we were given time to care about them. I think Carol's point about wanting to destroy the supreme intelligence thing is a good plot point, because the Kree did kind of destroy her life, or just change it to a drastic extent. Again, those moments that we see Carol go back and deal with the supreme intelligence were all flashbacks. Could have just been a plot point on its own, honestly. I think the conflict and tension between the Marvels and the Kree really could have been expanded upon, though. We could have been given the ability to actually care about the villain, making her a great villain. Number 8, we have got to talk about the mid-credits scene. The CGI of Beast was not great. It was very distracting, definitely took away from the point of the scene. The whole thing felt rushed. I'm interested to have the X-Men in the MCU officially, with their own deal, all of that stuff, but what a weak introduction to some characters that I'm assuming we will have a lot of interaction with in the future. Number 9, Kate Bishop. I actually really liked the Hawkeye show, felt more grounded because there wasn't crazy space powers happening. Interesting that Kamala can be starting a young Avengers situation. Surely she has Fury's approval though. I feel like it would be so unrealistic if they were able to function without the approval, guidance, support of Fury and SHIELD, or it's not SHIELD anymore, it's SWORD now. It felt like maybe that was meant to be the mid-credit scene, and then the X-Men were the post-credit scene. I don't know, but I'm excited to have Hailee Steinfeld in the MCU more. Hopefully her character's inclusion makes sense. In conclusion, I did enjoy this movie. I initially went in with low expectations, but I think secretly I went in with high expectations because there were moments that I just felt underwhelmed and disappointed by what they were doing with the movie. I don't think all hope is lost for these characters though. I think there's still a lot of room for them to grow and create great movies. Let me know what you thought of this movie in the comments, and thanks for watching.